Rob Dukes.
Rob Moschetti from Generation Kill, and we're here to discuss the making of our new album, We're All Gonna Die.
Comes out in Europe on November 15th, in the U.S. on the 26th. And we're here to talk about the kind of the making of it, correct?
Yeah, the whole thing kind of started with riff tapes, the old school way of writing songs, and we assembled probably 60 different song arrangements before Rob heard anything. We submitted a demo, a home-produced demo at my studio, and he sifted through everything and
kind of just, yeah, I mean, I got a CD and just kind of drove around, and either on my motorcycle or on my truck, and kind of just whenever a riff would jump out at me, I would say, all right, that's cool, and then we'd meet up in rehearsal space and we'd start there. Like, this is a cool verse, let's try to build around that. And sometimes they'd write new stuff, sometimes they'd try to go on the CD and pick other riffs that were cool and mix them together. And so it was that process that went actually kind of easily. And then every time we would rehearse and get a little further, then Rob would go home and kind of like make like a pre-production demo with, he'd do all the guitars and bass and use a drum machine, and kind of so we get a semblance of what was happening.
yeah, every rehearsal the song would grow more and more, and we needed an updated version every week. So every week we had a new demo basically of the songs, and finally we got to a point where Rob was happy with the arrangements. And,
yeah, like, this needs to go 8 times. This is a chorus, so this goes 4, and and then there's a little bridge here, and all that kind of stuff just started to organically happen and take form. And next thing you know, and the thing that we said from the beginning was we were going to write 8 songs. Like 8 songs, old school, kind of like old Van Halen, old Sabbath records, like, where they just, it was one vinyl record, it was both sides, it was under 45 minutes, and that was what our goal was. And to try to, each song was what's best for the song, right? That was kind of the goal the whole time. It was like, whatever's best for the song, that's what's going to happen. Regardless of, any kind of personal agenda, it's what's best for the song. That was our goal the whole time. And I think we achieved that there's no fluff, there's no shit on it. There was one thing that was cool was, by the time we got to Zeus, when we met with Zeus and played him this stuff, you played him a riff, and what did he say to you?
he said, "Moschetti, that sounds like a 4th grader wrote it."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, a 5th grader, me, I wrote it." So
now it sounds like a 7th grader wrote it.
Yeah. But what he did was he challenged us to do better. And someone like me making a comment like that, we dug deep and we changed it immediately. And he didn't rewrite the song, he made us do better.
It actually came out way better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It took a little getting used to that whole process,
Yeah, I didn't even like it at first. I was
Ego
like, I like the old
maniacs,
one, but
someone else telling you it could be better.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he makes the big bucks.
Yeah.
So.
So after all the composition was done, we Zeus came down and we met us at J-Rod. So Friday we went over to J-Rod's studio, set the drums up, got tone, and then Jim came in Saturday morning early. We all brought in coffee and got there, and Jim was an animal, just nailed it. 10 hours of straight drumming. I think we stopped 3/4 way through, ate something, and then went right back to it, and then he was done. He did each track 3 or 4 times, and our ears were fried. We came back the next morning.
Fresh ears.
And he made one little change, and we were done, and that was it. And drums were done. So Zeus left and went home to edit.
Yeah, after the editing, he came. We got together, and
you guys did the guitars. And
within 3 days, we were in a blizzard, and we were snowed in, and all we had to do was track. So in 3 days or 2 days, it was basically a weekend. We got all the rhythm guitars done, all the bass done, and that was it. By the time Rob came home from South America, from his Exodus tour, he had this huge sounding rhythms to sing to.
So I sat in my house for probably about a week and wrote lyrics, and had a good sounding demo to listen to, and then after that, I went up there. I did the vocals in about 10 days.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 days I was up there in Connecticut at Zeus's place. They did the solos, and that was 2 days of soloing, and
Yeah.
And then that was it. And then we left and went on tour.
Yeah.
And
After the tour, we came back, tweaked
it.
a few things that developed on the stage live at the tour. Came back, added them in, did a mix. Planet Z, Zeus killed it.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Cool, man.
that's
Well,
basically it. We'll get more into the technical side of everything, and maybe on part 2.
yeah. Peace.